Now, the ANC's National Executive Committee is meeting from today in Nasrec, just south of Johannesburg, to adopt the party's organisational reports, as several of them. Of course, this is just weeks before the party's 55th National Conference. The reports will detail, we understand, the political, financial and membership status of the party over the past 5 years. Issues such as the tabling of the Integrity Committee's report on the Phala Phala farm are expected to top the agenda. Senior reporter Aviwe Mtila is in Nasrec, and a short while ago he was listening to that briefing by the Treasurer General of the ANC, Paul Mashatile, who's also been acting as a Secretary General after the suspension a few months ago of Ace Magashule as the party's SG. Aviwe, good afternoon. What has come out? What is this agenda looking like of the NEC this weekend?
Good afternoon, Bradan. And the Treasurer General of the African National Congress was just basically painting out how the weekend is going to go about. As we do understand now, of course, the President has already tabled that political view, and we do understand now the NEC members are delving into that up until 4 o'clock. We do then understand, I have it right on my hand, that the NWC report will also be tabled by the Treasurer General, Paul Mashatile, until 6 o'clock. Of course, tomorrow will be the interesting day. The members of the NEC 86, of course, that we do understand, highest decision body making of the ANC in between conferences, are expected back at Nasrec at 8 o'clock in the morning. That was, of course, as we do understand, there is that Carling Black Label Cup that's happening also on the sidelines of that at the FNB Stadium. So they're saying that in order for everyone to come here and avoid all the traffic that will be happening around the stadium, they should be here by 8 o'clock, where then they'll delve into, we do understand, numerous issues. But the one that will be very interesting, Dan, is that last issue that will be delved upon here tomorrow. It is the integrity report that we do expect to touch on, of course, the Phala Phala issue. As it stands, we do hear from our people inside telling us that the integrity committee itself is divided on a way forward in that, but it's one of those issues, of course, that we're expecting to be delved upon. Another is the state capture report, which we do know that Jeff Khatebe has been tasked with just looking into that matter. They'll be tabling a report. This is their last meeting, NEC itself, ahead of the conference. So they're ironing out a number of issues, crossing out those T's, dotting those I's as they head to the 16th of December, where the 4-day conference will take place up until the 20th of December.
Yeah, and we must point out, Aviwe, that this is the first physical meeting of the ANC's NEC since the pandemic, because they've been meeting virtually. It's going to be interesting to observe the chemistry and the energy in the room when you get a chance.
Well, we did get a photo opportunity where we walked in, and you know, Pulemabe often talks of the mood of the room. In fact, there was a clip that was really circulating around the mood of the room. We could tell it is a bit tense, the situation there. President had to be all smiles a bit later on, so that alone will depict some of what is termed as the mood in the room. But of course, we do know they'll be delving into this NEC meeting for the next 3 days, wrapping up on Sunday. The President expected to give an open session, the closing remarks, at around 5 p.m, where, of course, we'll be there ourselves as eNCA. But on the Monday then, at Luthuli House, we're expecting the Treasurer General, Paul Mashatile, and the spokesperson of the ANC, Pulemabe, then to outline exactly what came out from the NEC meeting. They lost, of course, heading to that elective conference. And you mentioned that it is their first, given the advent of COVID-19. They haven't sat in such meeting for the last 2 years. So it's the first time that they were actually here, and we saw a lot of them, from the Premier of the Eastern Cape, Oscar Mabuyane, Premier of Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi. We saw Nomvula Mokonyane, who actually detailed how this is the weakest NEC in the history of the ANC, saying that they're not active members of the African National Congress, going out to the different communities, dealing with community issues, but they're not even attending branch meetings, she said. So she said she expected to have that tongue lashing inside, given those comments, which she then repeated here, saying that this might be the weakest NEC, so they need to strengthen a number of issues as the African National Congress heading to that elective conference then in December, which will elect, of course, the leadership to take forward the ANC into the 2024 national elections.
Yeah, and on that point, Aviwe, as we conclude, it means, of course, that this meeting of this current NEC is important. It's the last meeting of the current NEC because next month, the members of the ANC from all over the country, from different branches, will be electing a new National Executive Committee. So there's going to be a lot riding on the kinds of reports that they will be finalizing this weekend, which will then be presented next month, because they are winding down their term of office.
Certainly their last sitting, of course, we do understand the National Executive Committee is the highest decision-making body of the African National Congress in between the conferences. And the last conference, we do understand, was the 2017 one held here in Nasrec, where Cyril Ramaphosa emerged as the party president, taking the party forward then now. They're handing down the ropes now. Their last meeting, a very crucial one, which they'll detail even some of the achievements, looking back at what they've done. They're now going to elect a new leadership, Bradan, that is going to determine. I mean, I've been speaking to a lot of people in the last number of days trying to figure out what sort of leadership the ANC itself wants. It'll determine the future of the ANC. As you do understand, it's been largely criticized over the years as keeping to the names, even the names that we are now seeing, Bradan. It's the names that we know. No new young names that are coming to the fore to lead the ANC, as opposed to the other political parties that we see with a very young, educated leadership. So this, in fact, conference will determine the future of the ANC itself, how then even its survival of the party itself, given that it always talks of a mix, a generational mix, which we're hardly seeing even in the names that are touted out. It's the old tried and tested names, the older, I don't know if it's sticking to the older, more wiser, whereas we are in a generation of that's largely comprises of youth in South Africa, expecting that you'd expect the leadership that emerges here will be a youthful one that will have those ideas to take the country forward.